Hi, I'm Azelle from The Upcoming. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. And congratulations on your first restaurant, Shola. Can you tell us about your new venue?
So we are located in White City Place in the MediaWorks building. It's a really fun place to be. We're right off White City Tube Station. We have a 40 cover restaurant, which is complete labor of love. And we see a lot of lunchtime traffic, and evening traffic is also building up now. And just a lot of fun people around us. So that's what our venue is.
How did you come up with the name?
Shola means spark in Urdu, and that's my native language from Pakistan. And it is that spark that when you sort of set fire to the coals, that first spark that comes out, that's what it is. And I just thought that that is such a great name for us to start our first venture. And also, we do all of our meats on charcoal, so that sort of ties in with that.
Lovely. And the interiors, what's the inspiration behind them?
It's all Pakistan. It's all my childhood memories from Pakistan. We wanted to work with a cooler palette, but also because Karachi, where I grew up, is a beach city. So you get a lot of beach and you've got a lot of coastline there. So childhood memories are of water and sky and just birds and along the coastline. We also wanted to bring in a lot of milder colors and sort of cooler palette, just because I feel like the food itself is so in-your-face flavors that it's nicer to sort of just enjoy it in a calmer, kind of cooler place.
And you previously ran the successful Gourmet Karachi supper clubs. Did this feel like a natural progression for you to open this?
It absolutely did, although it is a very different ballgame altogether. Serving 80 or 90 people in a supper club style when people are just sharing and having conversations is very different to doing service in a restaurant. But it's been a natural progression, and I just think that it's just been, it's different, but it's been amazing.
And why did you choose to base your restaurant in White City?
Because I just think that this is such a great up-and-coming area, and the food offering here was limited, but it's also quite adventurous. So you kind of see a lot of different new restaurants here as well, and people are playing with cuisine. And just the audience here is also adventurous in what they sort of venture out for in terms of food. So I thought, why not try Pakistani food in White City and see how it goes.
Okay, and the Pakistani community is almost as large as the Indian one, but there aren't many restaurants. What's the difference between the two cuisines, and how can the Pakistani find its own place?
That's what I'm trying to do for Pakistani cuisine. so let's see, hopefully I get it done. I think that I know that there is such a confusion between Indian and Pakistani cuisine, and that is quite a natural confusion because we used to be the same country many, many years ago. So there's a lot of Indian influences in our cuisine, as the same way in Indian cuisine, there's a lot of Pakistani influences. In terms of the basic difference that I think that we're trying to do here at Shola is that our curries are not cream-based, they're not as rich, they're sort of more based on vegetables and yogurt, and just trying to put a slightly lighter twist on the food itself. It's the kind of food that I grew up on at home. A lot of focus is on the meats and the grills and the barbecue, because that is also a very distinct Pakistani thing. Our street food is huge in terms of all the chaat that you'll see on the menu, and also, like I said, the barbecue wraps, that's the kebab roll and the chicken roll and all of that stuff. That is definitely something that we grab just on the way out. You know, you stop over somewhere in your car and you just say, oh, I'm feeling a bit peckish, let me have one of these wraps. And so that's it.
And having presented the programme for the love of food and travelling through the different provinces of Pakistan, did you notice many differences in styles of cooking and intentionally bring them or any of those influences to your own restaurant cuisine?
Absolutely. I think For the Love of Food was one of the best experiences I've had ever. It was one of those things that you're not really naturally traveling across Pakistan, tracing the food history. It's just not something you wake up and decide to do one day. And for me to have that opportunity was amazing. And I did learn a lot. I mean, food in Pakistan just sort of changes along the way the country goes, based on what's available, where it's available, and the tools that you have available to cook that food. So for instance, I'd be in a village cooking with the ladies of the village, literally picking the herbs and the greens from the trees and kind of putting together whatever is available for lunch that day. And then in Karachi, we went and we were crabbing. Crabbing is a term where you actually go fishing for crabs in a boat, and you kind of find fresh crabs and you sort of cook them in the boat yourself. And we had a chef help us do that. So I'm really trying to bring a lot of that to Shola itself, and I'm trying to represent every single region. I know we call it Karachi Kitchen, but Shola Karachi Kitchen is because Karachi is the one place in Pakistan where you get the cuisine from all over the country. So I'm able to represent different cuisines from the regions, from other regions here as well.
And would you say your own childhood that influenced your cooking style as well?
Definitely my eating style. I'm not sure if my cooking style, but definitely the eating style and my love for food, and I guess just the need to make sure that all of my spices and everything is made in-house, all of that. Yes, my childhood has influenced it. My mother was adamant about making sure that all the spices are ground at home and everything is sourced from a certain place. My father was also a keen foodie, so he made sure also to help my mother out in sourcing all these spices. That used to be a family project, like weekend project, where we would go and sort of discover different vendors and markets where you could find the spices and roast and grind them in-house yourself, because she just never trusted anyone else's spices, and neither do I these days. So
what would you say is your signature dish on the menu?
Signature dish, it's like I say, it's like choosing your favorite child from your menu. But I have to say these days our roasted lamb, our grilled lamb has been quite popular. There's a lot of love that goes into that dish as well, and it takes a long time to create it as well. And so I would say that would be, at this point, would be our signature dish. But I'd really want all of our dishes to eventually just have their own moment in the limelight.
How do you differentiate yourself from other Pakistani cuisine restaurants in London?
I'd like to say that the way we are different is that we do everything in-house, and we're trying really hard to make sure that everything from our spices to even our paratha, our doughs, everything is done in-house, so we can sort of put in all of those parameters for making sure the flavor is consistent and making sure that you get exactly the product that we've been trying to create. So, I mean, that's it. It's very important for me to make sure that all of our spices, we get them in the morning, we roast them, we grind them. It's quite a cloudy mess inside my kitchen in the mornings or before service, but I really, really believe in that, because I think the time you spend on roasting it has to be the right color, because if you don't have it roasted the right way, the flavors don't come out properly. So that's a really important part of our cooking.
What are you most proud of with your journey to this point?
Lots of things, but I have to say it is the ability to work under pressure. I mean, when you've got queues of people outside and you're still churning the food out and making sure that it's coming out at the right time and coming out with the right consistency and the right temperature, that I feel to be able to achieve that and not cracking under that pressure has been something that I've thrived on. So I really enjoy doing it, and I've just developed it over time.
And currently you're only open for lunches and monthly supper clubs. Will you be opening evenings in the future, and where do you see the progression going?
We definitely plan to open for evenings in the near future. It's just that I'm trying to make sure, I really believe in doing things sort of carefully and biting off only as much as you can chew. So we really want to make sure that we've got this offering locked down, lunch does well, and we've got all of our recipes and everything sorted. And then we venture into the dinner market. But that'll be coming on soon.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.